Por favor.
No, Tata me contó todo eso, yo nunca le dije a él.
Porque ahorita va a ser muy delicado cómo va a pasar todo.
Oh, sí.
We're going to have some questions and answers here in a minute, but I do have a couple of announcements I'd like to make. First of all, I want to release the cause of death for Sergeant Paul Starzik. He died from a single gunshot wound to his chest. Felix Sandoval died from multiple gunshot wounds to the chest and abdomen. Catalina Torres died as a result of injury sustained from a gunshot wound to her face.
Can you walk us through a little bit of the chronology?
Of the events that day? Yes. About 11:35 Saturday morning, we had a call. It initially came in as a disturbance. There weren't a lot of facts. Officers started responding. On the way to the call, there were several updates of there was a man with a gun. Then they announced there was the name of the person, that he was forcing his way in to a beauty salon on Pacheco Boulevard. The first officer arrived within 1 minute, 57 seconds. And by that time, he had shattered the front window of the beauty salon and entered the salon, scattering patrons throughout the building. He walked through the building screaming, "Where is she? Where is she?" waving a gun. He ultimately ended up outside in a parking lot between the apartment building and the beauty salon, where he was confronted by his teenage daughter. She pleaded with him to stop what he was doing and argued. She actually tried to wrestle the gun from his hands. He ultimately ended up heading to the apartment, saying that he was going to find her and kill her. That's all he said. He never mentioned her name. The first officer that responded, as he exited his vehicle, he heard shots being fired inside the apartment. That officer deployed a semi-automatic rifle and started up the stairs when Sergeant Starzik arrived less than 30 seconds later. He also deployed his rifle, and they went up to the top of the stairs together. At the top of the stairs, all I can describe is they heard screaming. It was a combination of 3 females and 3 children that were screaming, and they made a conscious decision that they had an active shooter inside that apartment building, and it was their decision, and I believe it was the correct decision, to enter that building and stop what was going on. What we didn't know at the time was Catalina had already been shot, and he was walking around the apartment. 2 adult females that were inside the building said he just paced back and forth, and then when our officers got close to the door, he reached around the door like this and started firing. Both rounds hit Sergeant Starzik. Sergeant Starzik returned fire, and so did the canine officer. At that moment, a third officer, who was coincidentally also a canine officer, responded. He helped pull Sergeant Starzik out of the way, and he sent his dog inside the residence. The dog immediately found the suspect, bit him, and pulled him partway out of the front door, at which time the third officer went to check on the status of the suspect and realized he's still armed, still had a gun, he was still moving, and he ended the confrontation right there. That officer then cleared the building of all the people that were still alive and called for medical assistance for Catalina and for Sergeant Starzik.
I have one question. Why do you think Catalina Torres got shot?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know, and actually, Jimmy Lee's going to introduce somebody here in a minute that may be able to shed some light.
Okay, one more question. That's it. One more.
I'm Catalina Torres' sister, and my question is, how did he get a gun? If the Battered Women's Alternative Program had already confiscated over $10,000 of ammunition from him before, from his vault, how did he get a gun? How did he get all this ammunition? How was he legally supposed to get this stuff? Why is my sister dead? This is my question.
I empathize with what you're saying. I don't think I have the answers for those questions, unfortunately, at this time.
Wrap it up.
He was a violent man. He was a violent man for several. I think their entire marriage, but Margarita finally said no more, and that's when she scattered the restraining order. And I think sister because he helped her. She was helping her. She was helping her and guiding her and telling her what to do. And I think he blamed her of their broken marriage, but their marriage was broken a long time ago. And this is I know he ran after her. I know he targeted her.